to this. Okay. All right. We'll get started. So just for everybody that's hopped on, just make sure your mic's muted for now, just so we don't have feedback from other people's cameras kicking in. Um, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Tracy. So I'm the owner of This Is Me Raw Fitness and Nutrition Coaching. And then Jill is on here as well. She has her own coaching business. And we thought it would be good to just kind of work together and put something on for fitness, nutrition, and mindset journaling, which is super important. It kind of crosses over into all realms of getting in the right mindset when you're going to start your fitness and nutrition journey. Or if you already have a journaling practice that you do, this will just be some more tips and tools to add to your toolbox. So kind of a little icebreaker to get started. I like to kind of start on a positive. So you can put in the chat, or if you feel like you want to unmute and talk as well, we can do a little quick around the table. What's one win that you've had from this past week? It can be personal, work, family related, just something that you're kind of proud of that went good for you this week. Like if anyone wants to comment in the chat or got anything?
I got my green elixir and I started drinking that and it's amazing.
That's awesome, Candice. That's good. So good. Anyone else got anything? Like
I'll say one.
Yeah, go for it.
That to start my healthy eating, I actually managed to prep salads for the whole week for lunches, like really big salads with lots of protein, and ate every single one of them. And I did it again yesterday, so I'm prepped for the next week.
That's awesome. That's such a good win. And then Mary in the chat, let's see. She's like, got outside for fresh air.
Finally.
Yeah, after that crazy weather, right? Allie, do you a win? Allie wanted to join. This is my daughter. She wanted to hop in on the chat. What's a win? What happened to you on, was it Saturday night? Friday night?
I think it was Friday.
Okay. Yeah. Who did you meet? What happened?
I met Maddie Mastro at Snow Rodeo and I got her signature.
Yeah. So somebody
happy birthday. Is that right?
It's actually her birthday's like in another month. But that video, so when COVID happened and you can have birthday parties, we like tried to do video recordings for birthdays. And so Maddie Mastro recorded a video for her. And then 5 years later, she met her in person. So
yeah. Cute. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for sharing all that, you guys. Oh, I see another chat. Who else? Tara, got started on my personal wellness program. Perfect. All right. Thanks for sharing that. Oh, Jill, you got your lifts in?
Yeah, all 4. Because sometimes all 4 don't get finished in a week, but they did in a 7-day stretch. I was happy.
Right? Yeah, that's like me too. Sometimes you space them out or get them in on the weekend instead of during the week. So my background a little bit, I've been working out or kind of fitness nutrition for the last 20 years. And then I became a coach and did my personal trainer diploma and some other certifications about 9 years ago. When I was 18, I started tracking my workouts in the gym, which was taught to me by another personal trainer, just to be able to kind of have that accountability, see the weights that you're lifting instead of just walking around the gym, having no idea kind of what you're doing. Then I started to realize I wasn't taking into account any of what I was eating. So there I was busting my ass in the gym and eating like garbage for years. So then I started to incorporate kind of those actions of going to the gym every day or whatever fitness and activity looked like for me back then. And then I started to incorporate over the years daily gratitude and having a morning or evening routine to kind of reflect on my day, which kind of just helped get rid of those negative thoughts in my head. And something I learned from a course a little while ago is that for every negative thought that you have about yourself, you need, or anything negative in your life, you need 5 to 10 positive thoughts to correct that one negative. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then, like I said, just creating that morning or evening routine, whether it's kind of your food and water and nutrition that you have in the morning, if you're doing visualizing or meditation, doing that gratitude practice, and then picking what works for you in the day for those things. And then Jill's just doing the screen sharing, so she'll just go to the next slide for me. Oh, there we go. Again, okay, so why do we do journaling? It just helps create awareness in your life of maybe how things are going well or not going well, and maybe why that's going on in your life. Like I said, it helps track your progress with fitness, nutrition. It could be also the time of the month for your cycle and why you maybe have energy, is like why you're not sleeping well, and how that can transfer over into all of your life. It helps to build discipline. When we write stuff down in a journal, it just adds that kind of extra, instead of just typing something into your phone or on a computer, writing it down helps give us that more reflection, takes that time. Kind of like when you make notes in school, it's better than just typing something out. It helps improve your motivation by seeing over time those improvements, whether it's drinking more water, you find you're sleeping better, you're having less alcohol, you're eating more protein, you're getting the right supplements. It just helps you to see where you started maybe a year ago and just over 3 months, 6 months, a year, how you're changing your health and wellness and your mindset. And then it also helps free up your brain space. So I know some people are like, I can't fall asleep at night. I have so many thoughts running through my head. Um, Being able to just kind of write stuff out can help you kind of fall back to sleep when you free up that space in your brain. It also is part of that mind-body connection. So like I said, you can do your fitness, nutrition, all that kind of stuff. But then if you're super stressed, your cortisol levels are going to be elevated, your daily like enjoyment and fulfillment of life affects that as well. So being able to sit down and reflect about, did I have a bad interaction with somebody at work? Did I not sleep well? Did I not eat? Am I dehydrated? Did I not have some self-care, maybe having a bath or going and getting a massage? All these things play into each other. So I forgot to say at the beginning, if you don't, if you can grab like a piece of paper and a pen, we're going to do like a few little actual practical activities through some of the slides. So one thing that has helped me um, every week is that usually on Sunday or whatever day works for you. I just do Sunday because usually that's most people's start of their work week, except for some of the people on the call that are shift workers and that. So whatever the start of your week would be, I like to do an activity called brain dumping. So what it is you're going to sit down and write out. So if you have your paper right now, we'll take a couple of minutes. You're going to write down all the tasks that you kind of need to do that are personal tasks for you through the week. So an example would be with my kids, it's like they have snowboarding 4 times this week. I need to prep food and lunches or snacks. I need to think about what dinner plans are going to be. Maybe you have a class you're going to take, that sort of thing. So writing out all those personal things you have to do. Then if you have work-related things, if you have a project you need to work on, do you need to finish up writing out what the meeting minutes are going to look like? If you're in some training, like just anything work-related. So I want you guys to take like the next 5 minutes and just write out everything you guys can think of what tasks you need to get done. So we'll set a timer, and then we'll just take the next 5 minutes. And if you want to share anything, feel free to add it in the chat or on the mic if you have any questions about it. if you guys finish this task, there's about 2 minutes left. If you're done, just put in the chat done once you're finished. And then if we're done before the 5 minutes, we can move on. About a minute left. So, and like, you don't have to be done within the 5 minutes. If you think there's more stuff after the call, you can add to your list too. All right. So if people are finishing up there, if anybody wants to comment or feels like it, how does that feel kind of writing out everything that you need to do or you need to do for the week and kind of prioritizing afterwards too? What you can do is in that list, put numbers beside the stuff you can get done right away. That's super easy that you can knock off that list. And then you can work your way through it for the rest of the week. But how does that feel just kind of seeing it on paper, what you need to do? If anybody feels like they want to comment. Everyone's good. All right. So the next part that we're going to go on to.
Sorry, Tracy.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to show you that this is how I usually do all of my dumping of what it's all on like sticky notes like this, like tons of sticky notes. Yeah. And so this is like, obviously this is all I do. And then I scratch them off. Yeah. So obviously it would probably be better if I had an organized journal. So that's not a lie, because that's like constantly just sticky notes. Yeah. I don't know.
It's nice to have it all in one place, but also if like I said, whatever works for you, if that's your system and you're like, I like it that way, I'm not going to tell someone to change it. So whatever works. So with goal setting, you guys have maybe has anybody not heard of what's called a SMART goal before? If you've done any other like work stuff or things, that usually refer to this. So it's an acronym for when you set a goal for yourself, you want it to be something specific, something that you can measure, that you can see the results, something that you can achieve, and that's something that's like realistic and that's time specific. So if you're just like, I'm going to get healthy, it needs to be more like, I would like to lose 10 pounds in the next 3 months. I'm going to do this by increasing my water intake, making sure I have enough protein, and I'm going to track this by, taking photos, seeing measurements. So having it really set in stone of what that goal is going to look like. One thing I also say with this is that we should always have goals, but don't beat yourself up if you don't reach or attain that goal by the time you've set. Because then you can look back and see, okay, yeah, I didn't 100% reach my goal, but I can see the process and the progress that I did make. Maybe you lost 8 pounds. Maybe you're sleeping better. Maybe you have more energy. So don't just beat yourself up if you don't reach that task or goal by the end of the time frame that you set. And then what I was going to show quick, or Allie might show her journal because she's been doing some of it. In the very front of the journal, sorry, I'm gonna find my screen because I can't see. So the very first page, it gives you, so it's a 30-day journal. The very front, it gives you 3 spots where you can write out those 3 goals. So you could write, this could be a monthly goal, a weekly goal, and then a month for 3 months from now. So it doesn't have to be all within that month, but you can kind of write it out. So it gives you that on the very first page of the journal. I think that's it for that slide.
I gotta keep up with my job.
I know. I'm like, sometimes I'm talking too fast.
No, it's perfect.
Okay. So with fitness journaling, this one I have honestly done, like I have a bucket in my basement of, I know people like to use apps or sometimes it can track your load, like the loads and the reps and all that kind of stuff. I'm very old school where I always like to write things down. So I literally have just journals, like the lined paper journals where I write down what the workout is, what day I did it, the like reps, sets, the weights that I used. And then you can track what you do over time, whether you're increasing your reps, sets, and having that what's called progressive overload. Because people will go into the gym and just wander around with no program and they're not going to see those results. So it's really important to say, like, if you have a trainer or coach, or if you're following something else, just making sure that you're like, this is the day I did it. And then you can go back and reflect on how you've improved, like I said previously, over time. The other thing with this journal too, if people want to use it, Allie's showing hers at the very back, there are like 20 pages that are really big lined paper, that's where you can track your workouts. So there is lined paper at the back of it that you can use for the fitness part of the journaling. And then again, yeah, if you're seeing that you've hit like a personal record for you, showing your consistency, if you're like, oh, I didn't go to the gym at all this week, and then you track it and you're like, I made it 3 times to the gym, there's your improvement over time. It helps to show, yeah, if you're having a rough day, if it's that time in your cycle, you might not be lifting to where you want, or your energy or your performance might be down, and that can help show you why that is happening to you over that month of time. And it's also fun to celebrate the small wins. So if you're like, hey, I could only walk on the treadmill for 20 minutes for the first week, and now next week you're like, hey, I increased my incline and I went for 30 minutes and I increased my speed. Again, that's showing your progress and celebrating those small wins for your progress. Okay, journal prompt for this one is think of something that you've done. It can be the last week, the last couple of days. What's like one movement that you maybe improved on or fixed your technique? What's one workout that you got in maybe? Did you go to a class? Or what did you do in the past week to improve your movement or exercise? It can even be getting outside for a walk with your dog, playing with your kids, kind of anything. So just one thing that you did to improve movement for this past week, and just write it down in your notebook. And again, I encourage this to be like an interactive chat as well too, not just me talking the whole time. So if you want to post in the chat what that was for you, or if you want to say over the mic, feel free to hop on and give your feedback.
I put nothing because I've been kind of in a rut lately. Like I cannot get my shit together. So I've really not worked out. I kind of just gave up like a month ago. So I feel like I'm not working out or doing anything really. So yeah, kind of sucks.
I appreciate like the open honesty and transparency. And I think like you're going through a rut and stuff. And so maybe journaling or figuring out like what it is that is going on in your life. Is it hard to prioritize? Like, do you have a lot of other stressors going on? Do you have family and everyone else you're taking care of? Is it because you don't have access to a gym or somewhere that you want to do your training? Because that can limit stuff too. So trying to get creative, like, could I do a video online quick? Could I do a 20-minute body weight thing in my house? So trying to get some other ideas to help too. Or you're just like, I just need a break right now and I'll get back to it when I'm ready to, is also okay.
Yeah, I have like a full gym at my house, so I literally have like no excuses. I'm just being lazy.
And that happens. We go through phases and seasons, right? Let's see what else is in the chat. Okay. Dance party with my kids, got my son out of his mental block too. That's so dancing. Seriously, like we have kitchen dance parties too and dance around, and it just puts us in a good mood. So I love that. It's so good. Thanks, Candace. Okay, Jill's did a new core workout and I'm sore. Yep. Okay. Tara went on a long walk on my rest day. So nice to get outside. I know, compared to the cold -30 that we had, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I
Anyone
can
else?
add
Oh,
mine too.
okay, go
Sorry,
for
I
it.
haven't typed.
Go for it.
Mine was I actually started doing very, very, very basic Pilates moves just to work on the lower back from sitting all day.
Yeah, it's funny how when you sit, like how many people are getting those like standing desks now with those walking pads, even just because even for
Yeah.
sitting so long, your energy starts to go down throughout the day. So people that can get those desks and they stand and start walking, it keeps your energy up throughout the day too, taking those breaks.
Yeah, and I'm pretty proud because I did it on top of my regular everyday workouts.
That's so good. And how did you feel after it?
I felt amazing actually. For once, I feel like I can actually move better because I kind of did a little bit more stretching.
Yeah.
So,
And sometimes we lack the stretching. Like some of us like the weights and then we're like,
yeah.
we don't want to stretch. So good for us.
Oh yeah, well, especially when it's like a 30-minute, like let's say a 30-minute workout you do hardcore, and then I found with because this isn't like hardcore Pilates, this is just basic you're learning. I
Yep.
felt like you don't even notice that you just did 40 minutes of it because it was almost relaxing, but hard at the same time.
Yeah. And that's where we all start, right? Like we're all beginners and we're all new. So that's good. Mary, you also did a bar class. Cool. You did the bar class in Canmore or you're in Canmore right now?
No, I was in Canmore yesterday, and
Okay.
my girlfriend organized it. I never would have done it on my own, so that was awesome.
Have you done bar before?
Yeah, a long time ago. So it was great.
Right on. It's fun to try something new or different too.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. All right. Thanks for you guys' engagement. This makes it so much better than just me talking the whole time. All right. Next slide. Whoa. Oh, we skipped one. Oh, no. Wrong direction. I don't know what's happening. There we go. Okay. So we'll move into like kind of the nutrition journaling and habit tracking. So with nutrition, Jill and I are kind of the same where with clients we have most people like do like the macro tracking and paying attention to like portion sizes because until you start really paying attention to what a serving size of something is, like, oh yeah, I'm eating great. And it's either they're eating tons of carbs and fats, no protein. And just so it's really important to track you're like trying to eat clean one word foods, knowing what portion sizes are, knowing what foods are going to fuel your body. So some people are like, oh, I do macro tracking, but then they're eating all this processed packaged bags of stuff. But yeah, they're hitting their macros, but then they're always hungry because the amount of food is not very much. Their energy levels suck. Then their digestion's really bad. And then they have cravings for other things. And then you can sometimes come into that emotional kind of eating habit as well. So over time, people talk about habit building, but it's habits happen once you take action. So once you start to say like, okay, I'm going to drink this many glasses of water a day, and you start that action and you know 100% you can commit to that habit. Once you start doing it over time, it becomes a habit and you don't even think about it anymore. So if you're like, I'm going to start drinking my greens every day, that's your action. And then the habit is created over time. And then you can start, it's called habit stacking. So once you start doing those things, you can start adding in more. People will be like, I'm going to change and I'm going to start on January 1st. I'm going to work out in this and this. Well, then they put 10 items on this list and they can't keep up with it. So you're basically setting yourself up to fail by putting so many things on there. So Allie has in the book, she's our person with the examples. So each week you'll have a page that's the habit tracker. And I've left this blank because I didn't want to be the person that picked what your habits were going to be. I want you to be able to pick and choose what that looks like for you. And then each day of the week, you can check the box for what or the circle for what the habit was, or you can color it in, or if you want to make it colorful, whatever you want. So that's in each week of the journal. So you can track those habits. So again, it just helps you to pay attention overall of tracking your food, but then also seeing what types of foods you're eating can affect your sleep, your energy, if you're more hungry. And then if you have a coach and stuff, then that helps too, where you can get that feedback when you check in and say, hey, like I wrote this down and I noticed this on this day. And it just helps your coach as well with figuring out what might be going on too. So then the demo for this kind of showing what was in Allie's template. So if you want in your journal for this week, what you could do is fill out like the habits or the actions, maybe 4 to 5 that are maybe new or something that you're not already doing that you think you can commit to this week, like 100% non-negotiable. You're like, I can do this. So I want you to write down 3 to 5 in your journal, the things that you're going to do. And sometimes this can be tough, trying to come up with 3 to 5. But yeah, if you're like 5's too hard, just commit to the 3 that you know you'll do all week. How's everyone doing? People on camera, like thumbs up when you're done, or just put done in the comments if you can. Good. Okay. All right. How did that feel, kind of committing to yourself for this week with habits? Good. Yeah. Okay. When you're ready, Jill, just to the next slide. All right. So overall, when we commit to, like I said, this journaling, tracking, it can just shift that mindset and our motivation and discipline. So writing it out and being like, oh, when you hear people like, oh, I'm so busy all the time. I'm like, okay, you're busy, but are you being productive and disciplined with what you're doing? So this just helps kind of reinforce overcoming those challenges about anything that's kind of setting you back a bit. You can just reflect on it each week to week and be like, oh, well, last week I felt this way, but this week I've overcome that. So at least you can have tangible stuff written down. Another thing that I really love to do is in the journal to each week. So that's fun. Oh, okay. So in this part, it's every day, there's a daily check-in. And on it, there's daily affirmations and then what you're grateful for. So there's spots in there that you can write out what you're grateful for. And then the affirmations, like, what is that? So it's where you're kind of that positive self-talk where you're using I am statements. So I am strong, I am confident, I am beautiful, I am loved, I am healthy. What else is there? Anything where you can say like, I am working towards making a better version of myself. I am working on being more kind, or I am kind. So instead of putting things of like, I can't do this yet, I want you to say, I'm not there yet. So I am working on being the healthiest version, and I'm not there yet, but I'm a work in progress. So we're just shifting the way we talk to ourselves. It's kind of like you may have heard that exercise before when it's like, tell me the first 5 people that you love in your personal circle. And people will name like, oh, my kids, my spouse, my dog. But really, you should be saying like, I love myself first. So people can list off everybody else, but they forget to say that they love themselves. So I think that really helps too with what we tell our brain. It sometimes takes that for fact. So if we're like, I am not good at this and I suck at this and I am not good at learning these things, your brain takes that and is like, okay, well, that's the narrative that we're writing. So we just got to flip that narrative. And I find the daily affirmations and gratitude every day, just saying it in the first thing in the morning or reflecting at nighttime is usually when I do the affirmations and gratitude. And then going into visualization, you guys have probably heard this before, that visualization can be so huge for you when it's studying for a test or just seeing yourself 3 months from now and just laying with your eyes closed and saying, like, where do I see myself in the next 2 to 3 weeks, next month, 3 months, 6 months, a year? That can help also kind of with those goals, and then also committing to yourself where you're trying to work towards to make a better version of yourself. So the exercise for this one, I kind of already said it. I want you to just write out, where do you see yourself with your fitness, nutrition, and health and mindset within the next month? So this isn't like a crazy huge goal, just what you want to see. And like, I want to see myself sleeping better. I want my hydration to be better, better relationships with friends or family, or having a better social network. So take the next like 2 minutes and just write out where you want to see yourself in the next month. And it doesn't have to be all like fitness and nutrition. You can pick one of what you're going to focus on as well. Then if you're done, kind of thumbs up. I know Mary's still writing. Good. Okay. All right. So I'll give like kind of mine. So I just said I want to improve like my gut health even more, spending more time with my kids. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm really bad for it too, is working all the time. So I'm gonna have my phone put away by like 8 p.m. every night is my goal for the next month. And then just, yeah, more quality time at home and not having to work on my business 24/7 and just taking that break. So that's where I see myself for the next month. If anybody else wants to share theirs, feel free to.
Clearing my mind, and so I can sleep. I
Okay,
have a lot going on.
so how do you, what do you tool or thing from what we've talked about so far? What do you think will help you with that?
Basically just making probably the writing it down, because that's something my doctor actually just recently told me I should start doing. And knowing that I have an action with everything.
Okay. Yeah, that was a huge one for me too, because people talk about habits all the time, but when you flip it to say like, what's the action you're going to do to create the habit? So that's good. Anybody else feel like sharing? Good. Okay. Next slide, Jill. We're almost there. We're almost at the finish line. All right. So again, consistency. This isn't something that has to happen overnight. Journaling is like, it takes work. It has, again, taking that action to say, I'm going to journal every night, every second night, whatever that looks like for you. It's your choice. Again, I like to have it written out because I can look back on it. Sometimes digital stuff, things get deleted or you lose track of them, whereas having a paper book just kind of helps me better to have that time of not being on screens. Again, figuring out if the morning or the evening, lunchtime, like whatever works best for you. If it's something more structured, like, I don't know, I like having a book like this where it's structured, but then at the back where I have the free flow narrative where I can do that brain dump. If like I can't sleep at night, I'll do a brain dump into it. Or the Sunday, just setting up what your work week looks like. I like that as well. Again, these are all just tips and tools to add maybe to what you're already doing. Or hopefully it gave you some ideas to start doing and adding to your practice. I don't have anything else. That's kind of everything I was going to cover. So if you have any other questions, we'll kind of have question and answers. You can ask me anything, you can ask Jill anything, and then she's going to chat about kind of the accountability group that we're going to do from this journaling.
How much is your book?
Okay, so I have a few copies here with me, so Chelsea, I can even like mail one in internal mail. It's $10.
Oh, that's it. Oh, okay. Can I grab one from you tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll bring it to West Winds.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Sweet. I'll just text you.
Okay.
And can you share, Tracy, the other methods of getting
Yes.
Amazon?
So you can do, because it's only 30 days. I wanted to do a 90-day one, but I also didn't want people having a book this thick of a journal to carry around. So that's why I made it monthly. And I know some months people may not want one. So the other way you can get it is off the website, which the link will be, or the website's coming up on the last slide. So you can order it off there as a PDF and you can just print it out yourself. And then the other option is the paperback on Amazon. And it's because it's Amazon, it's weird pricing. So on there, it's like $14.91 or something. Like it's a weird number. But I can order them in as well. So I can get them and hand them to people if it's easier that way instead of Amazon too.
So if Elara went to grab one from you, it would be $10 flat?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Questions? Any more questions? I guess I just don't want to jump in till there's people who want to ask more.
Yes, Mary.
From you. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, so did you, I guess it's you guys can chat and coordinate maybe how to get that. You meet halfway somewhere or whatever and
yeah.
have it. And Tracy, I don't know how many copies you have, but I would like one as well. So
I have 6 right now, but I was going to put another order in tonight. They just take longer on my end when I order them because it's not through the actual like Amazon. It's like the author page. So it takes a bit longer. Like if you want it faster, then just order Amazon. But if you want it for me, I have 7 copies here actually. So I have 7, I think, people.
okay.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to let everyone on here know that we all know somebody at work or in our family or in our friendship group who might be feeling like we've had many different examples of people's needs for brain dumping or exercise need to get back on track, or it's the eating getting back on track. If there are people, then we know that we have Tracy to refer them to grab this journal in order to have this like tangible piece of, like you said, I write everything down on paper. I do use my phone, but my goodness, I get frustrated because things get buried and lost. And in a book, you just flip a page and it's there. And so I will very much like to use that with my personal training clients in order for them to have something tangible. But just to let anyone know, Tracy and I are going to run another one of these on Wednesday this week and then on Thursday night as well. So all virtual. And it is nice to share something that, as you can see, is a really kind, gentle way to kind of just jump into a new, well, we all need something on a Monday to start. And I feel like this is a nice feel, is to have this this journal. So thanks, Tracy, for all of that information.
I hope it was helpful.
Yeah. And so what Tracy and I have decided is, because we're trainers and we have clients and we know that if you are told to do something, a lot of times you can have great intentions, but if no one's watching, it's really easy to not do it. Right? Like one of my goals is I have to drink more water because I'm obsessed with coffee. And I need to drink 2.5 liters of water a day for my body weight. And I get 1.5 to sometimes close to 2, but like nobody's telling me and watching me, but I have to mindfully know it's good for my body and my muscles and all that stuff. So anyways, so the accountability group would be a WhatsApp group, because WhatsApp is a really cool platform to have groups put in. And then if you have an Android or an Apple iPhone, then you can all do WhatsApp and it all works. Tracy and I would run this group as administrators, and the idea would be that you would send photos of your proof of accountability, of whether it's you just take a picture of the floor with your dumbbells set that you have at home, or it's, Chelsea, your gym, and you're like, I'm about to start. or you finish. Maybe it's you sweaty and you take a picture and you say, I did my workout tonight, and you send it to the group, because then it's an accountability piece of we're all watching and cheering you on. Mary, maybe it's for you, the mind dump of your journaling, and you don't need to obviously share your mind dump because that's personal, but it's the picture of something, whether it's the book cover or something to say, like, just did my mind dump. Or so however any of you, and Ilara, you want to do these things in order to kind of clear your mind as well, and maybe that is doing some Pilates and some meal prep and things, and then you just kind of take a picture of something that shows us that you did it in a little blurb. And if you're keen to do this 14-day accountability group, then we would just need you to get a hold of the person who asked you to come on to this and take a listen. And then we would add you to it, because I have your phone number, Ilara, I have your phone number, Mary, I have your phone number, Tara, and I would just like add you to the group. And then we would be an accountability group starting tomorrow with sharing these practices. Now, Tracy, I would always think that you're kind of chiming in on it by saying like, hey, how's everything going? Like, and I want you to know that one of my biggest pieces of expertise for all of you is I am very keen on helping you with nutrition. And that's my biggest piece. This is out of my realm, what Tracy's shared, which is something I need to do because I'm delusional to think that I can keep it all up here. I have to be able to have it somewhere on paper, I'm certain, because I forget things. And so use Tracy and I. We both have different expertise, like in our fitness and training, but also just in life experiences. And so I want to be the person who's there for everyone with nutrition. And as you know, there is the piece between Tracy and I that we have a supplement business that is aligned with healthy habits and healthy living. And our supplement company brand has things that will like aid in the health of gut health, which is mind and gut are connected, and that we would want to make sure that you understood that a very good habit daily is to take a greens drink that we would prescribe to all of our clients in order to say, if your gut health is balanced, then your brain fog, your energy, your gut flora, gut microbiome, everything to do with having really solid practices to get the gut in a good place is going to benefit your mood. It has been proven that gut health improves depression and depressive thoughts. It helps with brain fog, which then alleviates some frustration and anxiety in the brain and in the body and in your thoughts. And so that's what we would offer to prescribe to all of you as part of our 14-day challenge. Now, you won't get your greens by tomorrow if you were to say, yes, Tracy, grab them for me. Yes, Jill, grab that for me. But if some of you are already on the greens, then that would be one thing I would want every day for you to share in your WhatsApp, is just to show your drink and say, got my greens in, because that it will change your life. Now, the other part that we really advocate hugely for is the massive need to have protein in your diet in order to balance your blood sugar, in order to balance your brain, in order to balance your mood, because as soon as you stack your body's digestive system with protein first before everything else, then your body will metabolize its food slower, which means you will be fuller longer, which means then you will not have cravings as soon. So if you're thinking about how to eat your meals every day, this is why this is part of my expertise, is that if you have a plate of food and you have eggs and you have toast and you have fruit, the first thing you should put in your body after you drink your greens is you should have your protein and have 3 bites of that protein before you even put the toast in your mouth and before you even put the fruit in your body. And the reason for that is because it balances your blood sugar better. And then it makes you feel less apt to crave more carbs later because you are going to stack your belly with the right food combinations before you put the carbs in it. Now, fats are amazing, so please make sure you get your fats in. Avocado, olive oil, avocado oil, all those really good fats that you can incorporate into your body with nuts, seeds, all the things that will keep you fuller longer, and it's good for hormonal and for cell production and whatnot. So if you want to be part of the accountability group, we would love to have you. And when we start the accountability group, I want you to know that anyone can join at any point in time. So if you do have people that you think could benefit, then please just let them know. Because I think Tracy and I have just met each other a month ago, and it has been remarkable about how much we've like, we have such a mission to share what it was that we started so early that others may not have known. Like she said, she started working out when she was, 18, was it?
Yeah.
And I started working out like seriously when I was 16. And this is a 2-year journey for me. And I want to share with everyone everything that I know now and that some people haven't started yet. And it's about time people like Tracy and I really give to people what we know. And so this is a free practice of 14-day accountability. And if they start on a Wednesday, they'll stay with us till the Wednesday, 14 days later or whatever. So yeah, thank you so much. And anyone have any questions? Because I just kind of loaded you with like a lot of something I want to say is please try to take from this that we're not trying to add to your plate, right? Because Tracy has children who are very active. She's very, very busy. She's trying to take care of her own health and fitness. I have the same thing on the go here. Chelsea has that going on. Mary, you have grandkids and you have work and you have all these things. And Alara, you have work and you have responsibilities and all the things are going on. We know that we're not trying to pretend like we're not already all busy. But when you have this journal, hopefully it can become a piece of you daily to become a habit that is a calming habit as opposed to an added piece that will help you. So and then what's really cool, Tracy, is your daughter is doing this.
Yeah, so she even gave 2 journals to a friend of hers yesterday, her snowboard friend, and her friend's mom. So they're starting it as well.
Yeah.
And then Allie, do you want to share yours quick? She was very, very proud that, yeah, so she's like color coded all of her stuff.
Yeah.
And then go to your next one. Yeah, that one's blank for now. That's okay. Okay. And then, yeah, she chose to like use colors and stuff for all the pictures of how you feel, how you rate your day. And then her habit tracker, I know she's going to make all color coded too to make it like a rainbow. So, yeah. So she's going to circle all hers with colors instead. Yeah, she's doing it too.
Well, we know a lot of us on here who work with teenagers and different age groups that you're starting your kid, Allie, and other, like, that's huge. That's a huge thing to be starting that at such a young age. So that's pretty cool, Allie. That's great. Okay, well, thank you, everyone. This has been wonderful. So yeah, thanks, Tracy.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for taking the time out of your day. And again, like what Jill said, it's not supposed to add stress. It's supposed to help de-stress. So if you're finding it's bothering you, like take a break from it, take 2 minutes. Like, it's just supposed to help you out overall day to day. So.
Okay, well, thanks everybody. And we'll get a hold of each of you and we'll get you added to the group. Okay, take care.
Thank you.
Yeah.